As you can see behind me, I've got my kayak loaded up. I'm about ready to hit the river, and we're back at it after big river smallmouth, my friends. Welcome back to River Bronze, the pursuit of a 20. In this series, my goal is simple. I want to become a better river smallmouth fisherman, and at the same time, I want to catch a 20-incher along the way. That being said, I'm feeling really optimistic today. I don't necessarily know why. You know, the conditions are kind of interesting. We had some rain earlier this week. It's really foggy right now, so we've got low light conditions. I guess I just feel like the big ones are going to be feeding. Who knows? I could be totally wrong, but the only way to find out is to get out there and try. So let's get started. Oh, gosh dang it, I wasn't paying attention. One came up and smacked it. I don't know if he got hooks at all. I was kind of looking for the next spot to cast and I didn't get a hook in him. Huh. Today I'm really gonna focus on trying to get this thing precisely landed in good spots. Try to get it real tight to trees and whatnot. And I'm gonna try to fish it nice and slow. Now, I don't know if they're still gonna be on a whopper plopper the same way they were, you know, a month ago, but I figure it's worth trying, especially with the overcast conditions. Seriously, another short strike on it. 2 bites on the topwater so far, plus I just spotted a fish, so still around fish. Oh, there, one just missed it. I don't know, they might not be willing to commit to this thing. That was a dinky fish though, I saw him. That was like a little 8-incher. Oh my gosh, there we go. Oh, are you kidding me? Gosh, dang it. Man, they're just not getting hooked. None of them are taking the bait down properly. They're kind of coming up and slapping at it. These whopper plopper 90s, I just have more confidence in them. So you got to stick with what you're confident in. And this black color I think will work better. So we're going with the black whopper plopper 90. Oh my gosh, how? God, they're coming up and slapping it, but they're not eating it. I'm gonna have to really think about what adjustment I make here, because the fish are aggressive enough to come up and slap at a topwater, but literally it's wild how many have come up and just kind of slapped at it. I mean, how many hits have I had now? Oh my gosh, finally I hooked one. Oh, he's not all that big. Finally hooked one. Let's see if I can actually land this fish. He'll probably shake the hooks at this point. That's just how today's going. Get up here. Get up here, little guy. Get up here. Golly, they just like to fight, don't they? This species is a wild one. Well, we just barely got him on the back treble, but we got him. And that means that we are on the board for the day, my friends. How are you even bleeding? He's bleeding. I hooked him in the mouth. I don't know what that's all about. Must have got nicked. Anyways, let's get him right back to the water. See ya, bud. He'll be all right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm wondering if there's just a lot of fish this size. Could be a size thing. Look at that fish. Okay, well, we landed 2 in a row, so that's something. Okay, don't do it. I can just see the shakes coming. Look at him. He's just wiggling his body. He's like, all right, you want to try to grab that thing? Watch this. I'm gonna shake. There we go. Yeah, he's trying to shake so bad. Let me have my topwater back, please. I don't want treble hooks in my fingers. All right. This is the species, my friends. They are built like little bruisers, even at a young age. I mean, he's thick. He's nice and healthy. He's not the size we're looking for, but someday he'll grow up to be a nice one. I can just sense it, my friends. He's got a funny looking tail. All right, see ya, buddy. Well, it's definitely been a little bit of a slow day so far. That being said, the good news is I know I'm around the fish. At this point, I feel like I just need to figure out what makes them tick. What is going to make them say, you know what, I want to eat that? That's the question, my friends. Not always an easy one, but we just got to be willing to try new things. We got to be willing to tie new things on, and that's exactly what I just did. So I rigged up this funky looking little paddle tail type thing, and then a different colored tube, and then we're gonna leave that black whopper plopper on there for the time being. Between these 3 things, I'm hopeful that we can catch some fish, but the one thing that I cannot be afraid to do today is take the time to retie and try something different, because the reality is I'm around fish. Now I just got to make them bite. Let's get back to it. Well, I've never played Frisbee golf in my life, but now I can at least try because I just found a driver. So that's cool. Rinse that puppy off. New toy. That's mine now. All right. This is a Gambler product. I've never used it before. I picked it up because I was like, that looks like a fun little twitch bait for smallmouth. 4-inch profile, so I like the size. I like the fact that we've got some chartreuse on the tail. And it should kind of paddle and flap back and forth on a straight retrieve. But I'm thinking I'll twitch it around and drop it into cover as well. So we'll see. Can't hurt to try. Oh yeah, it has a nice flap. Looks great on a straight swim, actually. Oh my gosh. Oh, I gotta catch up with him. That's not a bad fish. Man, I really gotta get a faster reel for this setup if I'm gonna keep fishing this kind of stuff, because it's hard to catch up with these fish in the river. It's a decent fish. Definitely my best one of the day, that's for sure. He beelined out of the grass and smoked this thing, and he just took off. That's actually a pretty long fish. Nowhere near what we're looking for, but a beauty nonetheless. It's kind of like a speedworm meets a fluke, and it has an awesome action. I'm telling you, that thing thumps. There's another one. Oh my gosh. God, they take it and they run so fast. Another one about the same size. Well, we're trading up our size, and that's good. Another respectable small jaw. There we go. We're gonna catch some 14 inchers today, it looks like. All right, buddy. It's a beauty though. Look at that pretty fish. All right, bud, go back. Sweet. 2 fish on this thing only in a matter of a couple minutes, so building some confidence. Oh my gosh. I thought he was gonna be bigger. He caused this giant swirl, and it was just a little dink. It can be so deceiving, my friends. I actually pinned him really good. These hooks are sharp. These are the Trocar swimbait hooks, and they're doing quite well. I feel like I've got a lot of slack in my line, and I'm still pinning these fish wonderfully. All right, see you, buddy. I might just be onto something with this little rig right here. I've never seen anyone use this thing. I'm sure it's a popular bait, but I've never even heard of it. Another one. I think it's another dink. Not terrible. Oh, man, they put up such a good fight in the river. They get down in that current and they turn, and it's just brutal. There you go. All right, the tail finally came off. I knew that was gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna have to rig up a new one. That one's pretty long again. You know, a skinny fish, but a long fish. All right, see you, buddy. All right, I gotta rig up a new one because this one is officially destroyed. Okay, so it's called a baby flappin' shad. This color is the Phantom Chartreuse Tail. And like I said, it's kind of just like a Zoom speedworm mixed with a Zoom fluke. And nice little profile, fat tail. It really kicks well. I am on a serious drought right now. I haven't had a single bite in so long. I feel like I'm in some more productive water now though, so hopefully that makes a difference. We'll see. Things have slowed down. I'm really disappointed. I wish... There's a fish. Dadgummit, set the hook. I wish I had a Ned rig rod, but good news is I finally just hooked a fish. I'm on a serious dry streak right now. There we go, there we go. There we go. Decent little small jaw, my friends. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Ah, ooh, hook just popped out that time. Well, we'll get a measurement on him. He's nowhere near where we want, but still a great fish. Nice healthy fish. And that's like a little 14 1/4. It's a beautiful fish, my friends. I'll take 14 1/4 all day. See ya, bud. I was saying I wish I had like a Ned rig with me because I feel like that's probably the best bait for the day. My gut is telling me that. However, this bait is definitely proving worthwhile. That's a dink. Smallest fish I've caught on it yet. Oh, there he goes. There he is. Is that a Rocco? That is a Rocco. I just rigged up what I call the John Dalton rig, by Rock Bass, which is basically just like the weedless jig head with a 4-inch yum dinger. I'm sure there's another name for this, but I call it the John Dalton rig because John Dalton from Creek Fishing Adventures uses this all the time. And he's pretty much inspired me to start using it because I saw how effective it was when we fished together. This is definitely the most finesse thing I've got in my box. And I wanted to rig up the most finesse approach that I could get. Immediately, fish, literally, it's like it hit the water and it landed in the fish's mouth. Again, I think it is a rock bass. No, it's a little smallmouth. That is not the size I wanted this bridge to have. I'll take any fish that bites, as you guys know, but at a certain point, I would like to catch at least something over 15 inches. Today has been kind of a day of dinks, man. Just can't quite dial in those bigger fish. There's another one, 2 casts in a row. And we got the old bridge troll here. Hey, bridge troll. There you go, bud. All right, all right. What's the deal? And there's another. Gotta catch up to this fish. Gotta catch up, there's a better one. Not quite what we're looking for, but trading up in size a little bit. Yeah, he kind of just, that was a weird bite. Took off with it. Look at that, I actually hooked him on the underside of his mouth. Oh, dadgummit, he just tossed my yum dinger. Dadgummit. That's a feisty little dude. Okay, chill out. He's gonna hook me, man. Dude is feisty. He got hooked on the underside of his lip. It's a beautiful small jaw though. The old yum dinger is working well. Now that the sun's come out, I have just a little bit more confidence in it than the other bait. Because the other bait I felt like was great when we had a little bit lower light conditions. But now that we have a lot of sun, I feel like these fish are gonna hunker down a little bit, feed a little bit lower in the water column. That's what my gut is telling me. And so my confidence is building up on something a little bit more bottom oriented. Come on. Oh, no wonder I had so much slack in my line. I probably, when I set the hook, I pulled this fish probably 20 feet. He probably went down. Like, it would be so funny to have like underwater footage of that hook set. He's probably sitting there with the worm in his mouth, and then he probably just disappeared because I set the hook so hard. Man, you never know though. You got to set the hook hard. If that would have been a 20-incher, you know, I don't want to just, you know, barely hook the fish. You got to get a hook penetrated. And in this case, I destroyed that fish, and he was like 5 inches long. Oh, geez. I tell you what, it's time to turn around and start heading back downstream. I'm gonna keep fishing my way back to the ramp. That being said, the fishing has definitely slowed down a little bit. It seems like the fish are getting a little sluggish. And the other thing is, I feel like I'm only catching smaller fish as the day goes on. Not to say I've caught any big ones at any point, but I feel like there for a while I was catching a lot of like 12 to 14 inchers. Now all of a sudden I'm catching a lot more 5 to 6 inchers, which is ridiculous. I just cannot quite figure out where those big ones live. I do believe I'm around fish. I just don't think that I've quite figured them out or dialed them in, if you will. Either way, maybe we can do that on the way back downstream, or maybe we won't. No matter what, it's been a fun day. We've caught a lot of fish, and between that little paddle tail bait and the yum dinger, you know, it's been a good time. Camera wasn't rolling, but just got one of my best smallies of the day. Nothing too big, but a nice healthy fish. And actually, he jumped like legitimately 3 feet in the air. So straight up acrobat, quite impressive. All right, see you, buddy. It's a better fish. There we go. Woohoo! There. That's a beauty, my friends. That's a beauty. Finally, something decent. Another decent one. Nothing to write home about, but probably about 14 and a half, maybe. Nice and chunky too. He's built. Man, you were feisty. See ya, bud. Now these two baits right here, man, they're the MVPs. Morning MVP, afternoon MVP, and big fish MVP. Those two fish that I just caught were both up on real shady banks, real close to shore. That last one was actually probably in like 6 inches of water, believe it or not. And he was up against kind of a stump. And I feel like he had like a little bit of current blockage. So it kind of makes sense where he was. But I feel like they really like that shady bank. Last time I was here, I was catching pretty much all my fish on that side of the river. This time, I'm definitely catching more fish on this side of the river. And I'm thinking it's because we've gotten further into summer and the water's just definitely, I would imagine the water's just a little cooler over here because we've got so much more natural shade at this time of the day. Another one, another decent one too. This one might actually be pretty big. Golly, they're fighting, man. Guarantee they're fighting. All right, let's just swing them. Swing them up. The last three fish have all been about the same size. The nice thing is they've all been my best fish of the day. Like that one's actually pretty long. That one's a pretty good one. I'm gonna take a photo of that. I'm gonna have to send that to my buddy John. Yeah, that fish is right under 15 inches. Yeah, just under 15 inches. Nice and dark, just a really, really pretty fish. I say that about all of them, but they're all pretty in their own way, aren't they? See ya, bud. Another one. Man, I'm dialed in on them. There's another fish. I saw him. I saw him swim out with it. And there you go. Quantity, baby. It is a day of quantity. And I feel like sometimes anglers, especially bass anglers, don't always appreciate days of quantity, but I am going to just appreciate this. Sure, I've been talking about a 20-incher all day long. I've been talking about bigger fish, but I'm not gonna tell you I'm not having fun. I'm definitely having fun with fish just like this, man. If you didn't see how hard this fish fought, you gotta know that smallmouth bass, even when they're 10, 12 inches long, they put up a fight. And I'm telling you, this is a medium heavy rod, you know? And he put up a nice little fight there. That's why these fish are so dang popular among the sport fishing community, because they're just absolutely nutty. They are nutty. Oh my gosh, that fish took off with it. This might be a good one. Oh, he's down in a tree. I see him. There he is. Oh goodness, please tell me he's still hooked. He might have ditched it. This is, no, please tell, no. That's what happens when they get down in trees like that and they get you wrapped up. I saw his tail kind of kick and he came out of the water just a little bit. You know, I don't know how big he was. Might have been my biggest fish of the day. Might have been about the same as some of those 15s. Stinks, but he was right on the tail end of this leading into the back point. And the water's just a little deeper here and there's still some shade and some tree. So it definitely adds up with the pattern. There's one. There's another one sitting there, but this one's not near as near as big. I don't know. I'm guessing that last fish that I had was maybe a 16-incher. Hard to say. Didn't get a good look at him. That one's not. That one's okay. Really? Why do they have to be so crazy? That's just who they are, man. That's a decent one. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Who needs a net? Team swing. Team swing. I don't know why I do these things to myself. I think I'm gonna get my butt kicked the day I actually hook a 20-incher, because fish like this are already enough work, and that's a beauty, my friends. That is a beauty. See ya, buddy. Ah, you know, we kind of turned around our day. I just lost my last dinger, so this rig is officially done. I never caught any true giants from a smallmouth standpoint, but I definitely still consider today to be a total success because I continued to build up confidence in river smallmouth bass fishing, and I caught a ton of fish along the way. All in all, I'm having an absolute blast with this series. I'm gonna go ahead and post the first 5 episodes, and I'm gonna plan to keep fishing for these fish. I don't know when the next episode will come out in this series, but you can definitely count on me to keep it going until I get that 20-incher. If you have any comments or feedback about the series so far, make sure to drop them below. Otherwise, if you want to stay tuned to River Bronze, The Pursuit of a 20, make sure to click subscribe below and stay tuned because there will be more coming. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.